Why do you not want the best and brightest from around the world to
I do.
come to Harvard?
I do, but a lot of the people need remedial math. Did you see that? Where these students can't add 2 and 2 and they go to Harvard. They want remedial math, and they're going to teach remedial math at Harvard. Now, wait a minute. So why would they get in? How can somebody that can't add or has very basic skills, how do they get in?
He could not have dreamed, and now look at him, busting the stock market, starting trade wars with our allies, and taking on Harvard University, home to liberal elite alumni like Ted Cruz, Tom Cotton, Elise Stefanik. Trump wants to stamp out the left-wing thinking.
Jimmy Kimmel turned Trump's latest attempt at bragging into a full-blown comic event after Trump tried to highlight an IQ test from 1970 as if it were some priceless relic. Jimmy unpacked that ancient reference with the curiosity of someone opening a dusty box from decades ago, finding every layer more ridiculous than the last. And the further he dug, the stranger and funnier the entire thing became, ending with a twist that almost defies belief.
And by the way, I took my cognitive exam as part of my physical exam, and I got the highest mark, and one of the doctors said, "Sir, I've never seen anybody get that kind of one. That was the highest mark." I hope you're happy with that, although they haven't been bugging me.
Look at that. You have to admit, when he wants to, old puppet fists can really move. Trump was in bigly spirits aboard Air Force One. He revealed that he took a cognitive test, which he aced, of course, much more so than any dumb lady.
The moment Trump steps on stage, his famously self-declared brilliance appears to march in ahead of him, eager to announce itself as the smartest presence in the room, even though no one asked for a demonstration. Nothing paints a clearer picture of this inflated confidence than mocking Harvard students while boasting about intellect with the certainty of someone who often loses his train of thought mid-sentence. Jimmy simply points out that with behavior like this, the jokes practically write themselves.
Trump wants to stamp out the left-wing thinking that goes on there. After Harvard refused to cave to his demands, Trump froze more than $2 billion worth of federal funding to the school. And who better to determine what colleges should and should not be doing than the man who had to shell out $25 million in penalties for running a fraudulent university?
All that self-praise glows around him like a neon sign flickering in a storm, insisting everything is fine even as sparks fly from the wiring. Jimmy barely needs to set anything up because the former president steps into the spotlight already carrying his own punchline. That mythic high IQ he loves to mention floats around like a creature that only shows up when cameras are rolling.
They have Jasmine Crockett, a low IQ person. AOC's low IQ. You give her an IQ test, have her pass like the exams that I decided to take.
Now, you know what? There's only one way to find out. Let's do it on TV.
Let AOC go against Trump. Okay. Let Jasmine go against Trump. They couldn't come close to answering any of those questions.
Trump's repeated claims about superior intelligence stand on the same shaky stage as miracle diets and self-help programs that promise enlightenment for 3 monthly payments. Every time he brings up his supposed brilliance, the universe seems to sigh. Jimmy slices through that self-made glow with commentary so sharp it exposes the fluff underneath.
Versus Jasmine Crockett. Crockett versus Tubbs. And AOC. Let's make this happen. I'm serious. I mean, I'm willing to do whatever. I'll host it. I'll produce the whole thing. I'll pay for it. Grandpa Don's Dementia Bowl, folks. Maybe we could make it the undercard before that UFC fight they're having on the White House lawn. All proceeds go to fund the...
This entire IQ storyline drifts through politics like a parade balloon that keeps knocking into streetlights. Jimmy highlights the spectacle of a president insisting he's the sharpest tool in the shed while the tools themselves seem ready to flee. And as the tale grows more dramatic and absurd, it becomes the kind of ongoing gift comedians dream about.
I wouldn't pardon them. I wouldn't care what Melania told me. Darling, I think it would be a nice thing to do. I won't do it, darling.
I like when he takes us inside his relationship. Darling, why do you throw up when I open my robe? Why do you do it, darling? Now, most presidents at the turkey pardon keep it light. They make a few bad puns, they wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving, and they go back to work. But that's not Donald Trump. Donald Trump used the opportunity to brag about all the wars he's ending, how low his imaginary prices are now, and out of nowhere, took shots at the mayor of Chicago and the governor of Illinois.
The mayor, who's a low IQ person, the mayor is incompetent, and the governor is
When Jimmy goes into full roast mode, it becomes obvious that Trump's daily behavior provides plenty of material on its own. The way he moves through politics turns press moments into sitcom scenes filled with bold declarations, misplaced confidence, and unexpected plot twists. Every announcement arrives wrapped in its own thunderstorm of celebration, as if he is performing in a talent show nobody auditioned for. Through it all, Jimmy heightens the absurdity without much effort, pointing out how Trump's confidence shines like a salesman pushing knockoff luxury goods while insisting they are priceless. Each appearance becomes another chance for Trump to project swagger, transforming basic briefings into theatrical events.
Marjorie is out and Mom Donnie is in. Trump, I don't know if you saw this, but Donald Trump hosted a highly unlikely Friendsgiving on Friday at the White House for the incoming mayor of New York, Zohran Mamdani. Most people were expecting fireworks, but they did not expect them to be the Katy Perry kind.
President Trump is a despot who betrayed the country. He said you'd be his worst nightmare and accused him of having a fascist agenda. Are you planning to retract any of these remarks?
I've been called much worse than a despot, so it's not that insulting.
Are you affirming that you think President Trump is a fascist?
I've spoken about...
That's okay, you can just say
okay.
that.
All right.
Okay? It's easier. It's easier than explaining. I don't know.
I don't mind it. Who are we kidding? I don't even know what despot means. Call me.
Watching Jimmy break down Trump's behavior is like hearing someone narrate a slow-motion fall while the person insists it's an elegant dance routine. Every decision sparks its own burst of unusual logic, creating moments that are both bold and chaotic. Jimmy sees the humor in the gap between Trump's rock-solid confidence and the cartoonish reality behind him. That contrast powers each joke like a battery connected to pure comedic energy. Trump handles controversies as if they were balloons he can juggle while giving a speech about winning. Jimmy emphasizes the moment Trump steps forward with that signature flourish, declaring flawless success even as everything behind him wobbles. The chaos becomes comedy, the confidence becomes confetti, and Jimmy guides viewers through the spectacle as if leading a tour titled Unfiltered Presidential Entertainment. ICT.
I mean, seriously, though, he says a lot of crazy stuff. In that same press conference, he said there have been no murders in Washington, D.C. in the last 6 months because of him. There have been 62 murders in Washington, which already indicates a vivid imagination. But does he really look at himself in the mirror and go, I am thin? I am so thin, I can comment on others.
As the roast builds, Jimmy taps into Trump's love of showmanship, turning each exaggerated decision into an accidental audition for a surreal reality series. Trump's dramatic timing is unmatched, delivering sweeping declarations while people are still processing the last twist. His pace feels like running downhill while juggling fiery hot takes. Jimmy's commentary reveals how Trump's attempts to defend missteps only add more fuel to the comedic fire, mixing bold confidence with theatrical revisions. Trump often looks like a man trying to steer chaos with one hand while waving proudly with the other. Jimmy rides that momentum, turning every grand gesture into another comedic slam. No one embraces spectacle with more determination than Trump, who stands like a monument to self-promotion. Jimmy transforms that oversized showmanship into a firework display of humor.
I mean, they have the vibe of a wealthy, elderly gay man at the Cheesecake Factory ordering his shy young boyfriend dessert.
He ran an incredible race, and I congratulated him. It's an amazing thing that he did. I think you're going to have, hopefully, a really great mayor. The better he does, the happier I am. I feel very confident that he can do a very good job. I think he is going to surprise some conservative people, actually. I expect to be helping him, not hurting him. A big help. We're going to help him. We're going to be helping him. I'll be cheering for him. A lot of my voters actually voted for him, and I'm okay with that.
Whenever Trump proclaims a victory, the universe seems to pause as if checking whether it missed something. Jimmy jumps on that hesitation, transforming each announcement into a choreographed joke. Trump often moves as though he's living inside a permanent awards show, striding across imaginary stages. Jimmy exposes the contrast between the dramatic performance and the real situation, producing non-stop laughter. Even simple tasks become epic scenes. Signing papers turns into a climactic moment. Walking to a car becomes an adventure. Climbing stairs becomes a heroic quest. Jimmy uses this inflated energy to create comedy that goes far beyond standard political commentary.
Governor Pritzker, if you're listening, let's get your act together. Invite us in. I had a little bit of a Pritzker joke. I was going to talk about Pritzker and size, but when I talk about Pritzker, I get angry because he's not letting us do the job. So I'm not going to tell my Pritzker joke. They have a very cute little joke, you know. Some speechwriter wrote some joke about his weight. But I would never want to talk about his weight. I don't talk about people being fat. I refuse to talk about the fact that he's a fat slob. I don't mention it.
I don't know if that's sarcasm or...
Humor lives in the gap between everyday events and the heroic soundtrack playing in Trump's imagination. Every policy rollout becomes so hyped that reality can barely keep up. Jimmy compares Trump's self-promotion to fireworks launching before anyone lights the fuse. Trump's holiday appearances give Jimmy endless material because he approaches every festive moment like a personal victory parade. Decorating, attending ceremonies, or simply walking through a room becomes an act of grand celebration. Jimmy captures that oversized enthusiasm with pinpoint comedic timing.
Uncle Scam also treated the gathered crowd to a fairy tale about how low the price of food is now since he took office.
Walmart announced that the cost of their standard Thanksgiving meal is 25% lower. The price of Thanksgiving turkey is down 33% from its Biden-era highs. Potatoes are down 13%, and gasoline will soon be hovering around $2 a gallon.
Yeah. Just like your weight is hovering around 175.
Each moment Trump touches becomes a self-created legend fueled by unwavering confidence. The disconnect between the event and his reaction forms the heart of Jimmy's jokes. Trump's dramatic pauses in speeches feel like he's waiting for applause that never arrives, and Jimmy turns those silent beats into comedy gold. The pause becomes its own character, lingering awkwardly like someone refusing to leave the room. Jimmy also digs into Trump's habit of reinventing past events with total certainty, using each revision as a springboard for even bigger punchlines. Even his fashion choices become comic treasures with their bold flair and exaggerated presentation.
It was like he was giving a wedding toast to his new son-in-law. He's effusive. It's almost as if, and I know this sounds crazy, it's almost as if Trump doesn't have any real political convictions at all. He just says whatever, whenever. I mean, look at these two. They're smiling. He's grabbing his hand. He's touching him all over. He could not keep his hands off the Zoran. I mean, get a Lincoln bedroom, you two. He touched him more in that press conference than he's touched Melania all year.
Trump's public appearances often feel like stops on a traveling show called the Unstoppable Triumph Tour. Jimmy dives into these theatrical entrances, pointing out the rehearsed pacing and spotlight-chasing energy behind them. Trump moves through life as though applause should follow him everywhere, even when no one is clapping. Jimmy magnifies this theatrical confidence, portraying Trump as someone who lives as if daily life is one long award ceremony. Even his posture becomes comedy material, radiating the sense that every step he takes should be admired. By the end of the roast, Jimmy creates a full comedic universe built around Trump's flair for spectacle, his grandiosity, and his unshakable swagger. The result is a colorful avalanche of satire, exaggeration, and humor, setting the stage for even more chaos to unfold in the chapters yet to come. If you liked this breakdown, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a new update from Jacob Reports. Don't forget to like, share, and drop a comment. Your support keeps the stories coming.